Good morning. Welcome to the KetoMom page. My name is Stephanie, and we are diving into the book called The Power of One More. And so as you're tuning in, I'd love to know where you're tuning in from. How was your 4th, if you celebrated here in the United States? Did you do anything fun? We had an incredible weekend. There's actually kind of a lot of things that we did between friends and family, fireworks and grilling, birthday parties, all of the fun. I will tell you, I actually didn't do a live all weekend. Through a series of, really, I'll just say this. I don't know. Isn't it funny how, okay, let me think of how I want to say this. If people don't like you, they like to tell you, right? And so somehow my page got reported for, I'm just going to be real with you, nudity. And so I wasn't able to do a live for a little bit. And so I was like, man, I've never even been in a swimsuit on my page. And I know, I actually was laughing about it. And I was like, well, I guess I get a little break from doing lives. But that's where I was at. So I could do stories, but there's still some other things that are on my page. I just think, people had said, are you mad? Like, do you get mad if people send you messages? Do you get mad? Actually, so we're talking about identity today. And it's interesting because isn't it funny how we let other people's words and other people's viewpoints and the things they say about us. I'm not saying that we do, but we can easily take what they say or think about us and internalize it and then believe it. And I thought, you know what? Hurt people try to hurt people. Oh, my daughter's awake. And so I just went, I'm not going to get mad about it. Clearly, there's no nudity on my page, and I'm just going to enjoy my family. And so that's where I was at, if you were curious. Maybe you weren't curious, maybe you don't care. But anyways, I just think it's funny. And we're diving into the conversation of, I was going to say nudity. That's what I was reported for. I was like, what in the world? I didn't even know how to, I was like, oh my goodness. So as you're tuning in, I would love to know, what did you do for the 4th of July if you're in the United States? We had a lot of fun with friends and family, watched the fireworks, all the things, right? And it was fun. If you're brand new to the page, I'd love for you to post new below. And we're going through a book called The Power of One More. So I've been doing books. My husband sometimes joins me. Right now, he's getting a whole bunch of stuff that needs to be mailed. Right, he's doing some things like boss things. He's doing some paperwork things. So he might join me later or maybe tomorrow. But we have been doing books on this page for over a year to help you with your mindset, to help you understand the power of really focusing on your goals. But if your mindset isn't right, then you're probably starting and stopping and starting and stopping and starting all over again. So if you want to continue to tune in, you don't have to have the book. You can just tune in. I don't read the book to you, but I'm going to give you some highlights to hopefully give you something to think about. If you want to grab the book, awesome. The book is incredible. If you want to check out any of the other books we've done, you can go to ketomomsecrets.com. So there's a blog and a website that has different recipes, how to get started on the keto journey, so many things for the last 7 years. So you can head over to ketomomsecrets.com and check out book club. There's lots of things. Or you can send me a message and I would love to help you on your journey about anything, whether it's about parenting or keto or how to get started, books that you're reading, questions you have on life. I just chat with lots of people all day long and it's quite fun. So here is what we're talking about today. It's around your identity. Listen, I'm definitely not going to internalize or give thought to what the person or whoever decided to report me about something so silly. It is so silly. And I'm going to tell you something. I want you to guard your heart and guard your own mindset from other people's thoughts or what other people think of you, in knowing that people are just so funny. So with that, we're diving into the conversation of identity. And he says, your identity is shaped early on in your childhood. And so he's going to talk about, we're going to go through the power of one more, how the power of one more can shift everything in your life. He's actually giving a great, we're going to talk about actually something in the health and fitness world. So tune in, okay? But here's what he talked about. Here's how he started. He says, your identity, excuse me, was formed long ago, or things that you thought about yourself when you were young. He says, as a child, you accepted much of what other people told you was right and wrong. Your identity became the good and the bad parts of the things that people influenced. Your identity became the good and the bad parts of how other people influenced you, right? So the person you are today is partially because of childhood. And he says this, the unfortunate thing is that we were defenseless when we were younger, right? We didn't have the critical thinking. We didn't know how to go, that's truth, that's trash, I don't accept that, or yes, that's true. It says, as you grow older, you begin to confirm your identity. If someone said to you that you weren't a good student or a lousy athlete, that became a part of who you were. So it's interesting. The way that you think about yourself, I bet you could go, somebody told me that when I was in grade school. Oh, my family told me I'd always be overweight. Oh, somebody told me in my family, like, oh, this is just our genetics. Has anybody ever been told that? It's in your genes. You can't help it. Oh, we've all been like that. Our family is like that. And if you just stop and think about the things you believe in yourself, or the things you believe about yourself, I bet you could remember somebody saying it to you, a family member, a circumstance, a situation, to where you went, oh, okay, I'm supposed to be like this. Oh, our family's been overweight for generations. Oh, our family loves food. I'm just putting it in the picture of like health and fitness, right? I'm putting it in like the reason why you might be here. And so some of the thoughts could be because somebody told you, right? What shaped your identity when you were young? Why you believe the way you believe. This is, many people simply go through life screwed up and unsuccessful and never quite knowing why. And he goes, did you know that you can change your identity once you become intentional and have an awareness of why you believe the things you believe? Why do you believe? And all you have to do is sit for a little bit and go, oh yeah. Like if you listen to the thoughts that are going on in your own mindset and the words you speak over yourself, you could go, why do I believe that I'm never going to be successful? Why do I believe that maybe somebody told me I was a bad parent and I internalized it? Why do I believe the things that I believe? Because it doesn't mean that it's true. It doesn't mean that it's right. Just because people either spoke it over you or had said something does not mean that that's actually you, right? It says here, your identity is the force that governs your life and regulates your results. He says, this is really great. This concept is really incredible. I'm going to read a chunk to you. He says, think about your life as a thermostat. Your internal thermostat is set to the conditions of your life, the things that people have told you. He says you walk into a room, and if it's too hot or too cold, you look for a thermostat to adjust the temperature to what you like it. He says it doesn't matter what the external conditions are. The temperature can be 100 degrees outside, but if the thermostat is set to 75, it kicks on, right? And the air conditioner cools down the temperature. We all know how that works. We know how a thermostat works. He says your life works exactly the same way as a thermostat. He says if you're at 75 degree person, right? You're not operating at 100 degrees, but you're comfortable and you know where you're comfortable. You don't want to be stretched out of your comfort zone. You want to believe what people have told you. He goes, you turn on your air conditioner of your life and cool it back down to what you think you are worth, what you deserve. He goes, just like a thermostat in a room. My dog had a hairball. Just like you think a room, like if a room gets too hot, it brings itself back down. If you get stretched or if you get different beliefs that might make you go, oh my goodness, I could do better. I could be better. I'm not the person that somebody told me I was. I can do all these things. Like if you strive for better, your thermostat in life in general is usually set to a certain spot of what you think that you are worthy or worth. And if you don't kick past that or turn it up or get around different people or get around people that are going to push you and strive for better, you're going to bring it back down. That's why I hear the same story over and over again of people going, I've lost the weight, I got complacent, I let the food back in, I've gained the weight. I've lost the weight, but you were comfortable at a certain spot, so I gained it back again, right? Your thermostat is set to a specific spot. He says your life works exactly the same. If you're a 75 degree person, you turn on the air conditioner of your life and cool it back down to what you think you're worth. That is what happens every time your results begin to exceed your identity. You unconsciously turn on the air conditioner of your life and cool it back down to what you believe you deserve. It's really a great analogy. And understanding, like, why do I self-sabotage? Why do I think I'm not worth it? Maybe somebody told you that you weren't, right? Maybe that words that were spoken over you for years. And so we often can self-sabotage ourselves because of the experiences or environments or people that were in our life in the past. And now it's time to go, you know what? I am worth it. I can take care of myself, meaning like I can get healthier and stronger. Maybe you've believed that, like I said in the beginning, I'm not worth it, or it's always been this way. It will always be this way. That's a lie, and a lie, right? He says, much like a thermostat, your identity regulates your internal self-worth. It regulates your actions and your results. Many people are under the false assumption that external factors are what regulates their thermostat. That belief, getting their promotion, getting married, falling in love, getting a degree, getting the person that you want to be. He says, if you don't raise your identity, then eventually you will turn the air conditioner on in your life sooner or later, and that temperature will drop back down to 75 degrees, and that's where you're going to live. He says, however, if your thermostat is set to the right way, it will transcend conditions, and you will find success no matter what external conditions are around you. There's two more things I highlighted. So here's something that he talked about, like in the health and fitness world. He says, for example, think about your fitness identity. What do you believe? What has been spoken over you, told to you, self-beliefs? What do you believe in your fitness realm, in your health and fitness, right? He says this, let's suppose that you lost 20 pounds at one time in your life. Can anybody relate? Yeah, I've lost 20 pounds. Yep. He says, despite being armed with the best weight loss recipes and workout regimens, a year later, you added on all that weight. Listen, I've had so many people reach out to me over the last 2 years. They've done it. 2 years hit because of external environments, but he's saying that does not have to define what your health and fitness is like or your fat loss or your results, right? He says a year later, you added all that weight back on and some more. That's because when your fitness identity thermostat is set to 75 degrees, it means that you're comfortable carrying an extra 20 pounds. And try as you might, you'll always drift back to that comfortability spot if you don't learn how to elevate your thermostat. He says you can take all the right, that was my alarm. He says you can take all the right actions with the diet and exercise, but if you don't if your internal thermostat is not set for success and it remains set at 75 degrees, eventually you'll drift back to the old thermostat setting of eating the wrong foods, falling out of solid workout regimens. You'll use external circumstances, which I've heard people do over the last 2 years, find a way to cool back down. Can anybody relate? Does that make sense? How do you elevate your thermostat? Reading books, getting around different people, having accountability. It's watching the words you speak over yourself, right? You elevate yourself by taking yourself out of maybe certain environments, finding different, like a mentor, finding a different routine but sticking to it. It's consistently over time not falling back to what you know that you're comfortable with. He says there's no shortcut. There's no shortage of information, coaching, or path to success in any part of your life. So, he says, it follows the barriers to success are found inside of you. That is why you can do all of the right things and still not get the right results that you're wanting. He says, remember this, unconsciously, we always find a way back to the thermostat that we have set, back to the place where we find our worth, that we believe that we're worth. And so I'll just kind of sum it up with this. He says this. He says, remember, as a one more person, so we're going through like, can you do one more? Can you do one more rep in the gym? Can you do one more day at the gym? Can you do one more day without sugar? Can you drink one more glass of water? Can you do one more mile? The power of doing one more. He says, let's see. He says, the difference between you as a one more person and everyone else that will view these as speed bumps or or like if something happens, like a roadblock, right? A barrier towards your goals is you won't use temporary setbacks as an excuse to create permanent failure. Excuse me. You'll have the grit it takes to gravitate towards where your thermostat is set and eventually rise above that. He says, remember, as a one more person, change comes from thinking and acting. This book is not about doing one thing. You must do them continuously over and over again with the mindset of, I can do one more. I can get up early one more morning, or I can food prep on a Sunday one more time. It's the power of like, I can do it again. Yep, I'm going to do it one more time. Today I'm going to walk further. Today I'm going to give my coworkers one more smile, right? It's not just about fat loss, but it's about you being a better person with one more action, one more intentional action, right? So I think we're going to stop there because then he dives into the principles of faith, intention, and association. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. Here's what I want to do with the book. The book is great. I would encourage you to get it. My hope is we're just going to go through the book. We're not even done with chapter 1, but we're just going to continue to go through the book just to give you something to think about. So maybe today you think about the beliefs that you hold over yourself, why you do the things you do, or maybe why you don't do certain things because you've always been told that's not you, or you'll always be, or that will never be, or that's not our family. Or just as you catch yourself thinking and maybe going down a negative route or making excuses, ask yourself that question. Why do I believe this? What was spoken over me years ago? And I don't have to believe that anymore because it's not true. It's not serving me. It's not serving anybody around me. And so it's the awareness of the thoughts. It's the awareness of the beliefs that we can go through and go, all right, I'm about to raise my thermostat so that I can become a better mom, a teacher, a boss, a leader, a better friend, a better coworker, right? It's super powerful. A lot of the success that you're going to have in life, in any area of your life, is going to be starting with awareness. It's going to be learning, grabbing a whole bunch of knowledge, and then taking action. Thank you for the stars. That's super, super sweet. I appreciate it. We give all of the stars. It's equivalent to money through social media, and we actually give those stars away to an orphanage in Honduras. So that was super sweet. Thank you. So here's the deal. I'm here to help you. Continue to tune into the page. You can message me with questions. There's no shortage of keto information. I truly appreciate you. I would love for you to press the share button. I like to say sharing is caring. This is the book we're going through. We'll continue to go through it until we're done. So otherwise, tune in later this afternoon. If you've got any keto questions, you can ask below. I think we're getting some dirt. Otherwise, thank you. I appreciate you, and we'll talk to you very soon. Bye, everybody.